house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What's up?
Episode 208. We're on the Army-Navy week and NFL Week 15. We got a lot to dive into. Before we get to that, hit the like and subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening. The Big Easy Bets podcast is brought to you by BetStamp. If you're looking for a place to place these bets, you want to help our podcast out in the process, and if you want to take advantage of the BetStamp app, do so. You have all the odds, all the spreads in one spot. You don't have to go search and find which one works best for you. I highly recommend the app. Hit the link in the description and pick the sportsbook of your choosing. Take advantage of the offers. Help our podcast out. Episode 208, like and subscribe. Lot to get into. If there was ever a chance of me retiring from sports betting, it would have been because of Texas and Georgia. Sometimes I find myself, like, I'll take a step back and I'll be like, am I overreacting just because this is because it's my bad and all of that? Or am I exaggerating how bad and unlucky the breaks are? I don't think I am. What do you think?
No. You have those games like where a team can be dominating and just everything doesn't go their way.
Yeah, but just okay, so Texas was my game of the year. Texas minus 2.5. And we're jumping right into that recap just because, I mean, it was as bad as it gets. As bad as it gets, my biggest bet of the season. Texas was outgaining them by like 250 yards in the first half. It was 6-3 at halftime. Two missed field goals, 2 fumbles recovered by Georgia, a backwards pass that would have been a scoop and score. So it's the epitome of the ball not bouncing your way. I think it was the backup at this point. It was in the second half, and it's a backwards pass, fumble, rolls 15 yards from first contact with the ground, rolls out of bounds. If it just bounces and checks up, it's a scoop and score touchdown. The backup throws a horrendous interception for Georgia. Would have been a pick six if the corner, instead of celebrating, is blocking the one guy that can make the tackle. Would have been a pick six. Also, the guy gets smoked, knocked unconscious, and doesn't fumble. If he fumbles the ball right there, they picked up the targeting. It wasn't targeting. If he fumbles, it's ball game. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he held on to the ball. My handicap of that game, it went exactly as I thought it would. In terms of Texas domination in the first half, and it just didn't translate to the scoreboard. Carson Beck sucks. He sucks. I've been saying it like a broken record all year, and he played horrific. He had 57 passing yards in the first half. The worst thing for our Texas bet was that Carson Beck got hurt. And then they had the element of surprise with the backup. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. Opening drive of the second half, they marched down and scored a touchdown, and then they couldn't do shit after that. They adjusted, whatever. But Quinn Ewers, dude, are you telling me that Texas doesn't feel like Arch Manning is better than Quinn Ewers? Is that really what we're saying? Because this guy throws the ball up for grabs. He panics. It's a one-read type of thing. It's got to be there, or that's a wrap. If he's got to go off script, he panics, and he will just throw the ball up into coverage. But you don't think Arch Manning's better?
No, I think he probably is, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead right now and let you know I would almost guarantee Quinn Ewers will be benched in this college football playoff, and Arch Manning is going to take over because the weakest link on Texas is Quinn Ewers. You see it over and over again. He makes good throws. He did throw a perfect ball to the end zone that should have been a touchdown. And he threw like a couple slant routes that it's like you couldn't place it any better. Mm-hmm. But then he'll miss. He'll have errant throws. The interception on the first drive was a bad throw. It was all. Maybe it was miscommunication. Maybe the receiver ran too shallow or too deep, whatever you want to call it. But from my perspective, it looked like he misplaced the ball, and the guy put his arm out ball tips up for a fucking interception. Yeah, Quinn Ewers is going to have to be benched, and Arch Manning will get his shot in this college football playoff. It's the only way, because Quinn Ewers is the weakest link on Texas' team. Maybe we see a scenario where Arch Manning comes in, lights it up, Texas wins the national championship, turn right back around and try to do it again. But, I mean, you're paying Arch Manning a lot of money, and are you going to try to tell me that Quinn Ewers is better than Arch Manning? Because I just don't buy it. Every big game we've seen with Texas, Quinn Ewers has made a mistake, except the Michigan game, but they stink. I was so mad. I was so mad. Bird Auburn, if he can make a fucking field goal. That was like I said, if there was ever a scenario where I quit sports betting and I retired, that game would have done it. So I don't think it'll ever happen, because that would have been the one. The dropped interceptions, the interception called back because of offsides. Dude, it was unbelievable. Sarkisian, I think Sarkisian may get a little too much credit. I don't know what your thoughts are. Did you watch the whole game?
Yeah.
He kept trying to run the ball. Couldn't do it. They should have abandoned it way before. Way before, because they had success throwing the ball down the field. And then when it got to the red zone, they stalled out. But or maybe it was just the time, like when he decided to run, they would run for 5 yards and then go. They'd run for 5 yards on first down and then try some stupid shit. I didn't think he called a good game. I thought he called a good game in the first half. Second half,
Yeah, they were out schemed. Georgia kind of had them in the second half.
Yeah, and that's why I made a halftime update video, and that was exactly what I was worried about, because it's like they dominated them so much in the first half, it didn't translate to the scoreboard. It should have been 21-3 at halftime. You had to imagine that there were going to be adjustments made or whatever, that Georgia was going to at least get some resistance to Texas's offense in terms of the yards that they were putting up. And yeah, they did. And dude, the faked punt.
Oh yeah.
That was like the nail in the coffin until the kid threw the horrible interception. But how are you not ready for that in this situation? I think Sarkisian gets out coached every time he plays somebody. They haven't beat anybody worth a shit this year. When you look at it, they don't have a ranked win on their resume.
No. Yeah, I think that's what the games like this are really annoying, because not only should have they been up more, it's like, okay, then you have all these ups and downs in the second half. So you have Georgia goes up by 7, then Texas answers, ties the game, forces them to a 3-and-out, then they fake the punt.
Mm-hmm.
They end up having to settle for a field goal there. I think Georgia went up by 3. And then Texas doesn't do shit on the next drive.
Yeah.
That's the drive that the backup ends up throwing the interception. So there's like all these ups and downs in a game that really shouldn't be in the balance.
I was praying for a scoop and score touchdown or a pick six. So this is all we got. And if he returns that for pick six, he ain't marching them down to go score a touchdown. That's a wrap. I think that's ball game for sure. So if that guy just fucking blocks, I can't just... Dude, it was so frustrating. And games like that drive me crazy, because you'll have a motherfucker be like, "Oh yeah, nice pick." It's like they fucking dominated them, dude.
Yeah, this game kind of reminded me of the North Texas Army game, where it was kind of similar. Like North Texas should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah.
On replay, they couldn't see the ball, and then late in the game, Army had the ball, running the clock out. And North Texas forces a fumble. North Texas ends up driving, and Chandler Morse throws the interception in the back in the end zone. But it's like those games that shouldn't be in the balance, and then you get some hope there at the end, and then you get your heart ripped out.
Yeah. No, I've accepted the fact that, I mean, this season's not over. We got bowl season, but I've accepted it's not going to be the season that we expected or wanted. So I apologize to everybody that there's people out there that'll tail every single pick. I appreciate you. We should have done better for you. I've been saying it. I'll say it again. You do a gambling show long enough, you're bound to have a bad year. That doesn't make it okay. Next year, I don't even want to start looking ahead to next year because we got games in front of us, but I think we've hit the bottom. Just a frustrating year all around. This is more than any other year that I've ever seen. I think the public is raking in terms of like just how these games have gone, especially in the NFL, which we'll get to that when we get to the recap. But yeah, it comes with the territory. It's going to happen. It's not the season we wanted. But god damn, it's like I go look through this fucking notebook, and that Texas game embodied it perfectly. Honestly, what embodied it perfectly was the Tulane Army under 46. Yeah. And I tweeted that night, that right after that game, I was like, it just I said that game sums up our season. The ball has not bounced our way this year. It is a razor thin margin between having a bad year and a great year. It's like razor thin. And then the very next day is Texas and Georgia. I've never had the ball not bounce in my favor so many times in a row. The fumbles, there's 3 Texas guys around it. The one Georgia guy dives in and gets it. Really, really frustrating. But I mean, we'll get to the full recap. But yeah, just now. I mean, people love to rub salt in the wound when you're down, but it's like, or like we're giving out losers on purpose. It's like, yeah, I'm losing my money. I mean, it's like this is, we're not having a good time here. What do you think about the bracket?
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have to change something, but the seating's all jacked.
Yeah, I'll give my opinion on it, but I know how you wanted Alabama in.
No.
Okay, good.
I would have put an Ole Miss in before even thinking about Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama didn't deserve to be in regardless.
Yeah, I think so. I'll start it off with this. I think the committee got it right. I think the committee needs to make changes with the seating. You shouldn't have Arizona State and Boise State getting a bye. You can do the auto bid for the conference champions, but the best teams should get the bye. It should just go by straight up rankings, in my opinion. I think it's hilarious that the Alabama athletic director came out and said, we're going to go ahead and reassess our non-conference schedule going forward since we're going to be penalized for this and that. Who did you fucking play? You played Mercer, USF, Western Kentucky, and a bad Wisconsin team. What are we talking about? You're not out of the college football playoff because of your non-conference schedule. You're out of the college football playoff because you got fucking blown out by Oklahoma and you lost to Vanderbilt. This whole crying over spilled milk. Don't lose 3 games. Don't lose your games. It's not the non-conference schedule. That's not why you're on the outside looking in. It's because you got embarrassed by a bad Oklahoma team. The worst Oklahoma team I can remember in quite a while. Alabama didn't deserve to be in. They can say this or that, whatever they want. I think it's a joke. I think the athletic director coming out and crying and talking about all this and that is ridiculous. Who you got? You're going to schedule a weaker non-conference schedule now? You played fucking Mercer. Mercer's known for beating Duke in the fucking March Madness tournament. That's it.
Yeah. The thing is that if any team has a gripe, it should be Ole Miss. But, I mean, you look at it, no 3-loss team got in other than Clemson, who won the conference championship. So it's like, at the end of the day, don't lose more than 2 games, and you're probably going to get in.
Yeah, and I think if SMU doesn't make that comeback, they're out. If they get the doors blown off, and it's like, because I even tweeted out, I was like, they look like a fish out of water, dude. They look shell-shocked to start that game. But they rallied, and if that game goes to overtime, they're going to win. They're going to win. Clemson couldn't do anything on offense, and they couldn't stop SMU, which that's frustrating as shit because I was on SMU. But the damn kick return, I can't believe they gave that up. But, yeah, you get back into it, and they takes a 56-yard field goal for the win. You can't leave SMU out at that point, in my opinion. I felt like they deserved to be in. I think they got it right. I think there's just a flaw. The
seeding's messed up. Oregon's an undefeated number 1 ranked team, and they have a really tough path to get to the national championship and to win it.
Yeah. If you go by betting odds, Oregon is going to have to play Ohio State in the next round, and then if they win, they would probably have to play Texas. And that's just to get to the championship, right?
Yeah, and they might be playing Georgia.
Yeah. So their run may consist of Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia.
Georgia got the easy path.
Yeah. Penn State got an easy one too, and they lost to Oregon. Penn State's got to play SMU and then Boise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a flaw. It's not ever going to be perfect the first go-around. I think the right teams are in. I think that's what matters most. You still got to beat everybody in front of you, I guess. I think Oregon has a legitimate gripe, but I think the right teams are in, and then I'm sure they can adjust it next year, and I'm sure they'll make a change here or there. But as far as the teams itself, I think
Alabama should have never been even considered after that loss to Oklahoma like that. No. You look at Ole Miss's losses; all of them were by 1 possession.
Well, it's like, don't forget the Iron Bowl too. If Peyton Thorne wasn't really bad, they were having decent success running the ball at times, but they forced Alabama to turn it over 3 or 4 times. Alabama did not look sharp. Milroe didn't light it up. They had 4 turnovers in the fucking Iron Bowl against a middle of the road Auburn team. So Alabama, it's not like they were dominating people down the stretch and like man, this team looks like one of the best teams in the country right now. They got embarrassed by Oklahoma and then did not have a great showing in the Iron Bowl. So, and you lost to Vanderbilt, who you've been down on all year. I don't know. They did not have an argument in my mind. And the second that Clemson, you needed Clemson to lose. The second Clemson won that game, that's a wrap. I think Lane Kiffin's a clown. This is the most vocal Lane Kiffin's been all year. The second his team's on the outside looking in, he wants to start tweeting. And he loves to subtweet, and he's a Twitter troll. He's a better Twitter troll than he is a football coach. I hate Lane Kiffin. I really do. You saw Bill Belichick might be going to North Carolina.
Yeah, is that not official?
I saw something like, yeah, I don't know.
I thought they made that official today.
I think I saw that he like accepted, but there was still some details to work out. He's agreed to become the next head coach at North Carolina. They're currently waiting to find out if North Carolina agrees as well. I don't know what that even. Oh, I guess he has stipulations. Per somebody in the know, Belichick handed North Carolina a 400-page organizational Bible with structure, payment plans, staffing choices. So he's got like the whole rundown. It's not just you're hiring a coach, you're hiring a whole system and all of that. Mm-hmm. So I guess they have to agree to that. But if Bill Belichick goes to North Carolina, that's like Phil Jackson going to coach Ohio State. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it'll work. I would imagine recruiting's not going to be that difficult when you're the most successful NFL coach of all time. But he is old. There was rumors going around that he might have a situation set up to where his son will be the successor after a couple of years. It's a pretty good move by Bill, if that is the case. But I can't even imagine seeing Bill Belichick on the college sidelines. I really can't. I'm not against it by any means. I just think it's like Phil Jackson going to coach Ohio State, somebody like that. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. I think it's safe to say the Chiefs have made a deal with the devil. I've never seen a team play worse and keep winning over and over again. They play great in the first half. They play bad in the second half, and then they made a deal with the devil. They're doinking in winners. They're blocking field goals for the win. Any which way that they can win a game, they're managing to pull it off. Mahomes is a horrible regular season quarterback. I've been saying it. Mahomes plays bad in the regular season until there's the final drive. It really is, in all seriousness. Mahomes is the best at playing off script. It's really what it is, in my opinion. You see, like we're talking about Ewers, obviously that's college level, but like Derek Carr. Derek Carr can't play off script at all. Mahomes is at his best when he's playing backyard football and he's doing like 360s and running all around and then no look throwing it to Travis Kelce. Like you just can't stop it in the red zone and things like that. When they have to go pick up a first down, you have to like all out blitz this dude and leave no option for him, because if he's able to move around, he's so just calm under pressure and it's just remarkable. His ability to play off script and just make a play out of nowhere. That's the X factor. That's why the Chiefs keep winning games, because the defense is okay enough that it keeps them in it. The offense, when they need to go put a drive together, they can. But when it's time to go win the game, Mahomes there's nobody better right now in the NFL. I don't know. I don't understand what are they, 11-1?
Yeah.
I don't feel confident that they're going to win the Super Bowl at all.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of similar to last year though.
Yeah, it is, but
except they're just winning more games this year than last year.
Yeah, but Kelsey's another year older, and I don't know. They just don't look that good, though. They go on long stretches where they can't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's like they're just waiting around.
They're just good at when it comes down to the end of.
Yeah, it's his, like I said, it's his ability to play off script. And I mean, that pass to Worthy was incredible. And then the going out, making something out of nothing, find a Travis Kelce for now they can run the clock out and kick the game-winning field goal. So he's just good at making something out of nothing. But the Chiefs, without question, the Chiefs made a deal with the devil. And will it run out? I don't know. If they win it again, though, it's going to be one of those, like, we can't keep letting them get away with this. because it's boring football to watch in the regular season, and you can't bet on them because they don't cover fucking spreads. The second you bet against them, they're going to light it up. So it's I don't know. I don't know what you do. You just kind of sit back, your hands are tied, nothing you can do, and then they'll go win again. Did you see Jerry Jones, what he said after the game?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Jerry Jones, it's time for Jerry Jones to move along. Jerry Jones questioned if blocking the punt was the right decision at the end of the game against the Bengals. So they blocked a punt, and then it went past the line of scrimmage. One of the Cowboys players tried to field it, couldn't. Bengals jumped on it, and then ended up going down and winning the game. So Jerry Jones, hindsight's always 20/20, but under no circumstances should you question if it was the right idea to block a punt. Like you have a yes or no decision, like in the huddle, like, hey, coach, should we block this one? I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to go block this one. You want to block a punt every fucking time that it's possible. So I think Jerry Jones has proven now he's too old, time to let go of the reins, give somebody else the ability to go make a decision, because if you're questioning if blocking a punt was the right decision, it's time to go. You want to put it up. What's more likely to happen? Somebody muff a punt, or you block a punt and not be able to field it?
Yeah. I mean, they shouldn't have tried to field it, but
Well, of course not.
once it goes past the line of scrimmage, it's like a no-no, unless if
How often, though, do punts get blocked and, like, bounce on that side of the line of scrimmage and then rocket across to the other side? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was a very fluky situation where, let's put it this way. When they blocked the punt, I bet you he wasn't like, oh, shit, we shouldn't block that.
Yeah, hell no. They were going to have the ball
They were going to win the game.
in field goal range and been able to run a clock out probably.
It was a bad bounce of the ball. I couldn't get one of those. I couldn't get the ball to bounce my way. But bad bounce of the ball, and then the guy shouldn't have tried to field it at that point. Clearly heat of the moment, lost his mind. But I just think that's crazy, though, after the fact. Like, I wonder if he pulled the special teams coordinator aside and was like, hey, buddy, bad move. Bad move there, sending punt block. We should have been in return. It's like you want to – he's more likely to muff the punt. I thought that was crazy. I really did. I think he just gets behind a microphone or in front of a camera and just starts saying shit. He doesn't even know what he says. He probably had no idea. He's just like, wait, whatever. Like, that's a crazy thing to say, that it was a bad idea. He questioned the decision to block the punt. Like, you have the fucking yes or no. Like things have to go incredibly right to block a punt. I don't know. I think he's a clown. Has Josh Allen locked up the MVP award?
Yeah, I would say probably so.
Yeah, he just had 6 touchdowns. Yeah, I think, unless Saquon goes crazy and breaks a record or something, I think Josh Allen's got it on a runaway. That's another thing, too, that reminds me. Pretty much stick a fork in Keon Coleman.
Yeah, he doesn't play anymore.
Why not? Yeah, is he coming back?
Phantom wrist injury. I don't know.
I hope he comes back for the postseason.
I think he's close to playing. They're just babying him.
Yeah, Khalil Shakir went crazy.
Yeah. He even caught a couple downfield. I was proud of him.
Yeah, he did. Tackled at the 1, too. Almost had another touchdown.
Yeah.
But took 160 yards to the house.
Yeah.
He's the best wide receiver on the field for the Bills.
Yeah. When Coleman's not playing, yeah, for sure.
I mean, even if Coleman would have threw in a good 3 catch for 40 yards and a drop touchdown.
Shit, at least 2.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's all I got. All right, we'll recap. We'll go through college football. Horrible week. Jacksonville State -3.5. We started out with a winner. UNLV +4.5. It was a really bad game from UNLV. Let me pull it up just so I can refresh. I think there might have been a chance there, if I remember correctly, at the end where they could have maybe done something. Am I recalling that incorrectly? It was 21-7. Yeah, they scored their 7 in the fourth quarter. Regardless, whatever.
They didn't do shit offensively.
Yeah, Haj Malik Williams did not play well at all. Ashton Genty, I was worried about it. 32 carries, 209 yards, and a touchdown. Bad play. Tulane. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. I just didn't put the X by it. Tulane and Army under 46. There was 49 points scored It was a bullshit.
It was the last drive.
Yeah.
Tulane down 28, trying their best to score.
Yeah.
And Army nearly intercepted it 3 times.
Yeah, and didn't they got a chunk run here, didn't Army? Maybe not. I thought there was something. Regardless, it should have hit. It embodied just the ball not bouncing our way again. Yeah, you had 3 out of the last 4 drives were touchdown drives. It was 21-0 for quite a while. Regardless, Tulane didn't show up. Tulane did not play well. I felt like Tulane was going to at least do a little better job against the run. They didn't. And then Mensa hit the portal. We're in portal season now.
Yeah, not surprised.
You're not? Summerall stayed. They were talking about him leaving.
Well, somebody's going to pay Mensa money.
Yeah.
That Tulane probably can't afford.
It does suck, though. Like, I feel bad for Tulane. Like, they were good. They were good this year. Summerall's a good coach, and now they're going to lose this guy who's not, like, incredible. He hasn't played spectacular down the stretch. Meaning, like, it's not like, okay, he can go start at Alabama type of thing, like a home run. So I don't know. You're just going to see a lot of the smaller schools get victimized by the poaching and all of that. Arizona State -2, easiest bet of the weekend. There wasn't many. They dominated start to finish. Levitt, Scadaboo is incredible. His ability to bounce off of contact and keep his balance and just he's extremely good. I thought Levitt played pretty damn well. His ability to make things happen with his legs as well make them a really difficult 1-2 combo to stop, and this was without their best wide receiver. Miami of Ohio -2.5. They got absolutely fucking killed. Timothy Chalamet knows more ball than we do because he picked Ohio in the broadcast. Everybody got so enamored with him picking games.
Yeah.
I think he whether he made those picks, did that research or not, I doubt it. I'm sure he was reading off of the paper. He was definitely reading off the paper. Did he do that research? I don't know. But he seemed into it. I didn't like – people either hated on him or they were like, oh, my God, this kid's the best. I was kind of in the middle. I felt like he did a good job and he was enthusiastic about it. And I think he knows sports a little bit more than you would expect, at least for like the biggest Hollywood actor out right now. They give this kid a role in every fucking movie. But everybody was like, oh, my God, he is incredible. It's like, I'm pretty sure he's probably being fed the research. And like he did say, like, he just said Parker Navarro's name. And Pat McAfee was like, damn. Like, yeah, he looked up the starting quarterback of Ohio. Then we had Texas -2.5. Already touched on it. Should have been a runaway winner and would have completely changed the vibes of the entire day. But on brand with how this year has gone, Marshall UL over 56.5. Chandler Fields was the backup. He got hurt early. Shoulder maybe, I don't fucking know. All I know is that they couldn't score. Marshall did their job, 31 points. You don't expect the second-string quarterback who's starting to get hurt, and then it was a wrap after that. So another unfortunate break. Throw it in line with everything else. Penn State +3.5. They were down 8 with the ball, and then Aller just threw a go ball, just a hope. I thought it was extremely lazy when they scored 37 points. The problem was that Penn State gave up fucking 45 points. This is an overrated Penn State defense. But I felt like Penn State's offense would be able to put some points up on the board. They did. I didn't think they'd give up fucking 45. But to just throw the go ball there, I felt like was very lazy. He had plenty of time. I don't know. I think some people, when the moment just gets too big, dude, they look for the door. And you throw it up there, you hope your receiver makes a great play. If not, okay, pressure's off now. You fucking lost. SMU -2.5. They lose by 3. Incredible kick, 56 yards from Clemson. This was first quarter. SMU couldn't do anything. It was 21-7. Really, first half they couldn't do anything. It was 24-7 at halftime. They scored 24 points of their own in the second half. Clemson could not do anything in that fourth quarter until SMU gives up a kick return, and that's that. So it's been a bad season. It really has. 2-7 brings me to 60, 69-1. We got bowl season ahead of us, but that's a fucking crapshoot. So what can you do, I guess, other than be better? You had 9 plays as well.
Yeah, we were on a lot of the same one. The Tulane Army under was the lock. That was a tough loss. I had my Miami, Ohio under 44.5. I think there was 41 points scored, 38-3. I think Ohio won by. That was my third and last winner. We started off 3-2, and then we lost 4 in a row at night. Texas, we talked about it. UL Marshall over 56.5. Chandler Fields goes down early in this one. And then UL's playing with a third-string quarterback, so they never had a fighting chance to score or keep the game close. Penn State, Oregon under, not close. And then SMU, Clemson under, same thing. Tons of points in the last 2 games of the night, so 3-6.
Brings you to 40, 52-1, 10-6 in your locks of the week. Still doing very good there. So the way this is going to work, we're going to do Army-Navy like we always do, and then we have 2 bowl games. So we're not doing the Celebration Bowl, right?
No.
Okay. We got 2 bowl games. The only reason we have 2 is because one of them is on Tuesday, Memphis and West Virginia. Obviously, we record on Tuesdays, so we're going to give you our play for that one. We'll be in the studio as that game is pretty much going on. So we will give you that play today, but we will recap it. It's going to go on next week's card, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you'll know. We'll give you the play. We'll re-give you the play in the next episode, reaffirm who it is, and it'll all be tracked. But we started off Navy and Army, one of the best matchups of the entire year. Army 6.5-point favorites with a 22 ranking next to their name. Total sits at 38.5, give or take. Do you feel good about it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't feel spectacular about it, but I feel like I have no choice but to go this particular way. I'm not going to switch it. So, well, is it side or total?
Side.
Okay, yeah, I'm referring to side as well. I have an opinion on the total. Which side do you like best?
Navy.
Fuck, I like Army. Okay, why do you like Navy?
I think the teams, they're just more tightly matched than maybe even the spread suggests, especially for the type of game that it is. Navy is probably a little bit better against the run than what their Russian statistics are showing, and then I think Army's probably a little not as good against the run as theirs is showing. You look at yards per play margin, extremely close. Army's pretty good, number 12th in the nation, plus 1.45 yards per play. Navy's right behind them at 17th, plus 1.35 yards per play margin. I don't know. Both offenses are really good. I think Navy maybe has a slight edge defensively here. The big question is if Horvath's going to play.
Yeah.
But even, I don't know. I would say if he doesn't play, maybe this goes to like 7.5, 8 points. Like if you see him and he's not dressed out warming up and the line has a little bit of time to move. But I don't know. I just think the type of game is these guys are just going to try to run at each other.
Yeah, of course. And this is one of those things because every year we hear about how the offenses open it up and they're going to throw it more. But when they play each other, they revert back to old. Like it's like a pride thing. They want to beat you at the style that they play. And so like you can look at common opponents. Army just killed Tulane. Tulane killed Navy. But I think it's different, whereas both of those defenses are planning for a school that can pass. And so you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt. But I think without question, Bryson Daly's the best player on the field. Kind of reminds me of Malcolm Perry that year with Navy. I really like Kanye Udo, the running back. So I think Army has the more explosive capabilities in the run game. Navy throws it a little bit more, but I think Horvath is a far superior passer than what's the backup? Woodson, right? Yeah, Woodson.
Yeah, well, he went 12 for 19 last week against ECU for 165 yards and a touchdown. So it doesn't seem like the scheme really changes too much with him in because they trusted him to drop back and pass the ball 19 times. That's a ton of times for a service academy team.
Yeah, but then against Tulane, he was 3 of 10, 13 yards and a pick. So I feel like it's one of those. I don't trust. Like, it falls on. I am not going to put my eggs in Woodson's basket. If you could guarantee me Horvath was going to play, I would still lean Army just because I think that they have the two. I think Kanye Udo's the best running back, and then Bryson Daly's the best quarterback. But with that being said, I kind of, if I had, I'm just going to take Army with the points. But if I had to take a total, I would go under just for the sheer principle of like, this was like what, 20 something? It was like 23 last year. I feel like you'd have to imagine Army's gonna. It's gonna be, can Navy hit a couple of those surprise deep shots? You know what I mean? And you think that they can, or you think that they're just gonna?
Oh, I think they can hang in there with them running it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Navy's gonna be my lock this week.
Well, there's only one game.
Well, we have the bowl games too.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you make a fucking bowl game your lock, I think you're crazy.
Why? We have a lock for bowl games.
I mean, yeah, once we have a full slate of bowl games.
What, there's 3 games to choose from. This one's my lock.
So you're going against Bryson Daly. They're talking about trying to get that kid at the Heisman ceremony.
Yeah, well, he didn't make it.
No, he didn't, but he might run angry because of that. But that dude, Kanye Udo's good. He's over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he's good.
6.4 yards a carry.
If Horvath plays, I really love Navy. Because I think Horvath's, I mean, you look at the first half of the season, he ended up getting a thumb injury, and then against Tulane having back spasms. When he was 100% the first half of the year, he was responsible for 20 touchdowns in the first half of the year, arguably playing just as good.
No, they were.
As Daly.
Yeah, no, and they both were in the conversation of like, they're both of them are really good. But yeah, like the Rice game, 24-10, they lost to Rice. I just feel like Army's been more consistent. You've seen variance with Navy, and then you've got the question mark at quarterback with injury. Like I said, if you can guarantee me Horvath would play, I would still probably lean Army, but I wouldn't expect the spread wouldn't be where it's at currently. If you guaranteed he played, it looks like it opened at 2.5. That's what it would be right around if Horvath was guaranteed.
Well, I don't know. That could have been a preseason.
Maybe.
I'm sure they have this as a game of the year lines up.
Yeah, maybe so. Regardless, yeah. So we're opposite sides. Were we opposite sides last year? Last year it got absolutely hosed. I think I had Navy in the under. The safety, the intentional safety hit the over.
Yeah, I had the under.
It was one of those situations where it was going to be one or the other because Levi was about to go in to score, and he got stuffed, right? And then, so Navy would have been inside the number. He got stuffed, didn't get it, so it's like, okay, well, at least the under will hit. We'll go 1-1, and then they take the intentional safety, and the over hits, Navy loses. Just an absolute fucking disaster. Yeah, I'm going to take Army. I just, like I said, I think Bryson Daly's the best player on the field. I think Udo's the best running back. So and honestly, yeah, both defenses aren't really great with outside zone running and all of that. And with the rule changes, they're doing a lot of like 3 backs in the backfield. And I feel like the over is a square play, but when you look at like what the defenses struggle with, it's kind of what the offenses excel at. So we may see some points. You may see explosive runs and this and that. And I just feel like Army's capable of the explosive runs where, I mean, if Horvath plays, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
I wonder if they'll ever set a total that gets bet up. This total never gets bet up. It always gets bet down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this says 41.5. So
they never.
I saw 40.5 earlier. So yeah,
this total never gets bet up. I wonder if one year they're just going to be like, all right, screw it.
Sub 38, I would consider an over.
Yeah, well, I hit the over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was freaking all the way down to 34 or something crazy.
Well, last year it was even lower, wasn't it?
No, it was 37.5.
Was it?
Yeah, and it hit 38.
I thought it was way lower than that. I don't know what I'm remembering. Okay, so we're at odds there. So you're going Navy, I'm going Army. You're going 6.5, right?
Yeah,
Or
plus 6.5.
Okay. I don't know if you got a 7. Okay, 2 bowl games. The fucking, I don't even know what that is. The IS-4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. You got South Alabama 7-point favorites. The total sits at 57.5. The key notes in this one, Fluff Bothwell, very good freshman running back, is out, hitting the portal. And then Gio Lopez, as far as we can tell, Gio Lopez is out also. You can't really find like an official report on it. At least I couldn't. And then, but we saw from a couple sites that he's listed as not going to participate in this bowl game. So, which way are you leaning?
Western Michigan.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Especially if Lopez is out.
Yeah, so Bishop Davenport's the backup quarterback. He played at Utah State for a year. Didn't really get much run there or at South Alabama so far. He played one game this year against Ohio. He was 23 of 37, 228 yards and a touchdown. But other than that, he really hasn't played. You take Bothwell out of the equation. I tried to message the starting wide receiver, best wide receiver by far, Pritchett. Didn't answer. I said, "What's up, bro? You plan on playing in the bowl game this weekend?" He didn't answer from the Big Easy Bets fucking Twitter page.
It's worth a shot.
If he's out, then they got nobody. So.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No, I know. If the quarterback's going to be out, the star running back's out. They have another good running back too, though. You got Bothwell, and then you got Kentrell Bullock. He actually leads the team in carries. He averages 5.2 yards a carry. He's got 6 touchdowns on the year. So a little worrisome there. But yeah, you got second-year coach at Western Michigan. He's got the team bowling. They're going to have you got to find the motivation and who wants to go and win. You're going to have a lot of players here for South Alabama, which I think it's a first-year coach at South Alabama as well, right?
Yeah, Major Applewhite.
Yeah. But all his players are leaving him. So with Western Michigan, like I said, second year, this dude Wolf's not that bad. It's not spectacular, but he's not bad. Did you see any major opt-outs or anything for Western Michigan? Like Nixon's playing, the running back?
Yeah, they're going to be without their second lead and pass catcher. The tight end's going to transfer.
Okay.
What's his name?
Blake Bosma.
Blake Bosma. He's not going to play.
Leads the team in touchdowns. Fuck. He's got 6. Nobody else has more than 2. Yeah, no, I still feel like I said, with bowl season, it's a crapshoot. We put ourselves behind the 8 ball with picking every single game, but people want action. We're going to give you action. Take it with a grain of salt. Western Michigan plus 7. They're going to have a lot more enthusiasm, in my opinion. So we'll see. Could be wrong, but that's the way it sounds like we're going. Do you have anything else to add to it?
Yeah, the main reason is because if Lopez isn't playing, this is huge.
Yeah.
Western Michigan's defense isn't very good, but they don't have to face 2 of the top threats from South Alabama's offense. All of a sudden, the advantage shrinks big time. Mm-hmm. And then Western Michigan offensively is not terrible. They're middle of the pack. We mentioned it. They're going to be without their second lead and pass catcher, but South Alabama is really defensively that they've struggled this year. 88th in the nation in yards per play allowed. The other thing to mention is they're going to be without some guys. The cornerback Shrugs is going to be transferring, and then safety Ricky Hyatt, who's gotten some playing time, is in the transfer portal as well. Another thing to mention is the starting kicker. He's transferring.
For South Alabama?
Yeah, so they're going to be kicking with some clown.
Love that.
And kickers are pretty damn important, especially when you're looking at,
Yeah, no, 100%. So, yeah, so we're going to go Western Michigan plus 7. And, yeah, like I said, it's a goddamn crapshoot in bowl season. So there's going to be late news right before kick that, the entire offensive line decided that they don't feel like playing.
Has Davenport played somewhere?
He was at Utah State.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't play much. Utah State, his entire statistics at Utah State were 27 of 44, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So very, very small sample size. He does not have a ton of experience. He's a sophomore. So, yeah, we'll go Western Michigan. And then we have one more bowl game, the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Memphis taking on West Virginia. This line is flipped completely. West Virginia was favored. Memphis is now favored by 3. The total sits at 56.5. I'm trying to pull it up. Lots of opt-outs for West Virginia. Like a ton of opt-outs. Trotter, the linebacker. What is it? Crandall, the corner. You got Tyler Evans, wide receiver. Will Dixon, tight end. Bryce Biggs on the offensive line.
Yeah, they have some injuries at wide receiver from key contributors.
Let's see. Yeah, Jaden Bray, Traylon Ray. Traylon Ray's their second leading wide receiver. Okay, so which way are you going?
I'm going Memphis. I like this. I like this before it moved.
Mm-hmm. We just saw him look great against Tulane.
Yeah, I think defensively you have to worry a little bit. They're not great against the pass, the 119th pass defense in the nation, so that worries you a little bit here. But I think offensively, the balance that Memphis has was certainly good enough to take advantage of the poor West Virginia defense that ranks 115th in the nation in yards per play allowed. So I'm just going to lay the 3 with Memphis, even though it flipped.
They got a couple 2.5s. Yeah, there's 2.5s.
Okay.
2.5. Alrighty, there you go. Like I said, bowl season just starting. Only 2. We're going to reaffirm that Memphis pick next episode, and it won't be till a week from today at 8 p.m. So we're giving it to you now. Like I said, we'll make sure everything's tracked and everybody knows what's what. So to recap, I am going with Army minus 6.5, Western Michigan plus 7, and Memphis minus 2.5.
We're going Navy plus 6.5 for the lock, Western Michigan plus 7, and Memphis minus 2.5.
Alrighty, that is our best bets for college football. Everything is going to heat up next week. You got obviously the Memphis game on Tuesday, but you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're gonna have bowl games. What playoff games? Next
college
week?
Football playoff games next week.
Is that next week?
Yeah, the 21st.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
They're not doing the. Okay, so they're gonna do
the first rounds next week.
Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, next episode's gonna be huge then. Okay. Interesting.
Plus all the other bowl games that they have.
Yeah. So we got a lot of games left. All right, we'll recap NFL real quick. It was a 3-3 week for me. It could have been much better than it was. I thought personally, I think it should have been. But some of these games I just don't understand. That's kind of what I said earlier, where the public is just raking in. For example, the Cardinals minus 2.5. We took them. The Cardinals were, 1 point underdogs, took money, moved all the way through. They got absolutely killed.
Yeah, moved to the other side of 3. Close on 3.5.
Yeah, we got them 2.5. Yeah, closes 3.5. They never had a chance to win that game. My lock of the week was the Bears plus 4.5. This closed at 3. Great closing line value. Plus 4.5, closed at 3. No buyback on the 49ers. None. They never had a shot. They were absolutely obliterated. The Bears rolled over. They packed it in. We had the Packers plus 3.5 on Thursday night. If there's anything we can do, it's pick a Thursday winner. We did it again, 10-4 on the year. Steelers minus 6.5. They tried to let Jameis Winston and the Browns get inside this number, but Jameis did us a solid. Threw a pick, and then Kadarius Toney, welcome back to the NFL. Muffed a punt, got released the next day. Like I said, Bears plus 4.5 was the lock. Chargers plus 4 on Sunday night. I think it was 13-0 halftime. And then Justin Herbert's just pretty damn good. The Chiefs made a deal with the devil, keep winning games when maybe they shouldn't. But regardless, Chargers got inside the number. Monday night, we had the Cowboys and Bengals over 49.5. This one was frustrating. I think there was 47 points scored. There was 2 turnovers inside the red zone. lot of points left out on the field. I felt like the over should have hit in this one, but it is what it is. We go 3-3, brings me to 41, 44, and 1, 6 and 8 in my locks of the week. You had your usual 3 plays, 1, 1, and 1 across the board.
Yeah, we hit with the Packers on Thursday night, and that's the only one we won. The Jets played the Dolphins pretty damn good, and then the Dolphins were able to tie it, go to overtime, and the Dolphins scored a touchdown on their first possession. We pushed Dolphins -6. Cardinals -2.5. We talked about it, man. They marched down the field. First drive, scored a touchdown, and then after that, Murray did a couple picks. One was a pick 6, huh?
Might have been. I don't fucking know. They suck.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's the most inconsistent quarterback in the league.
I don't think one was a pick 6, but 2 picks on back-to-back possessions, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It wasn't a pick 6, but it got tackled at like the 1.
Yeah.
It was essentially a pick 6. Yeah, no, it's got to just be a lack of preparation.
You can't bet on the Cardinals after Call of Duty comes out.
It's got to be a lack of preparation. I'm so serious because
They were looking so damn good before Call of Duty.
But I just don't understand where he has all the talent in the world, and then he'll just go out and I'm telling you, it's got to just be he's not preparing enough. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty, dude.
Maybe.
You can't play Call of Duty and play quarterback.
So
you gotta spend all your time playing quarterback.
You go 1, 1, and 1, 21, 26, and 1, 5 and 9 in your locks of the week. We got to pick it up in the NFL with college football kind of winding down. It's just bowl season now. We're gonna have a lot more time. I typically do this every year. I'm gonna have more emphasis on the NFL. Starting it off Thursday night, the Rams and the 49ers. The Niners are 2.5-point home favorites. The total sits at 49.5. Do you have a good feeling about this one?
Yeah.
I think I do as well. I feel like I have to go. Which way are you thinking?
I'm going Niners.
Okay, me too. You see the Rams. You try not to get caught up in the recency bias and all of that. So you look at it from the standpoint of the Rams just won 44-42, and goddamn that offense looked good indoors, turf field. But they gave up 42 points. That defense is fucking bad. The way I'm looking at it, and we're trying to preserve a 10-4 Thursday night record. We own Thursdays. I felt like the 49ers could have rolled over and died. And I expected them to. That's why we were on the Bears last week. They didn't. They came out and played incredible. Outgained the Bears. I think the Bears had 4 yards of offense in the first half. Something crazy for a large portion of the first half. They could have rolled over and died. They're only 2 games back of first place. So if you want to get crazy, the 49ers could find their way. If they go on a run here and the ball bounces their way a little bit and they win the games in front of them, they could find their way to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they will. I think you mentioned it. Everybody's in this division still in the race to win it. Seattle leads the way.
Seattle's playing the Packers this week.
Yeah.
So everything's right in front for the Rams. For the 49ers. But the injuries are concerning, obviously. They're down to a third-string running back, maybe even down to a fourth-string running back. Garindo got an ankle sprain. I don't know if it was a high ankle sprain. The short week makes that a little bit more difficult. Trent Williams trying to come back from injury. Nick Bosa, same thing. I don't think he was practicing. Dre Greenlaw might make his debut in this one. Yeah, I got to go. I think I have to go Niners. Outdoors, there may be a little bit of rain in the forecast. I think you see that offense with Stafford kind of putting up big numbers, and they got great wide receivers. They got good running backs. But at home with you don't control your own destiny, I don't think. You're going to need people to lose as well. But the Rams grade out 30th in Pro Football Focus in terms of pass blocking. The Niners just sacked Caleb Williams 7 times. That was without Nick Bosa. If you get Nick Bosa back, even better. I'm going 49ers.
Yeah, that's a big thing. When Williams and Bosa come back, this team's going to turn around.
Still got Fred Warner. They got Ward back in the secondary.
Because they can run it. They can run the ball. I think they've proven it with just about anybody back there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you don't love Debo going to social media saying he's not getting the ball, getting community noted on Twitter. where they're like, he leads the team in drops. So that's why he got community noted. He said, I'm not getting the ball. That's why I'm not being productive. And they hit him with the you lead the team in drops. But with Kittle and that, I still trust Shanahan to be able to dial up some offense here. The Rams playing away, I think, are a different Rams team. Short week, go on the road, possibly weather in the forecast. 49ers, like I said, I think that was the crossroads for them against Chicago. They could have rolled over and died, or it's kind of you spark new life into the team, and maybe they're getting a little bit healthier on on defensive. Greenlaw comes back. Bosa, I don't know what exactly to expect. I hope he comes back, but we'll see. They were able to. I think they will be able to get to Stafford and make life difficult. They don't, like I said, the Rams don't pass block very well. That's a key component to winning a fucking football game. They just got to Caleb Williams, who will hold on to the ball for an eternity. They got to him 7 times. So sounds like we're in agreement there. Lay the 2.5 with the 49ers for the Thursday night streak. 10-4 on the year betting the Thursday game. We go to Sunday. You doing your usual 3?
Yeah.
What's your one more before you lock?
I'm going Packers Seahawks. I'm going to lay the 3 on the road with the Packers here.
Okay.
I'll give it one more shot at trying to bet against these Seahawks
to
find out how legit they really are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't like a super, I guess, like confident play, but because you get a little bit, the Seahawks didn't look bad against the Cardinals, although Kyler Murray did his best job to help the Seahawks win. But offensively, Charbonnet looked pretty good in the absence of Kenneth Walker, and then Geno Smith is still doing a decent job passing. I just think they're going to be outmatched here going against the Packers offense. So it looks like there's maybe a chance of rain on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much. Wind shouldn't be too much of an issue. So I like the Packers here. Packers -3.
Okay. I am going to take trying to look at numbers here. I want to see if I can get a 4.5. If not, I'll lay 5 with the Eagles against the Steelers. You see the reports about A.J. Brown not being happy with the passing offense and this and that. I'm still not a firm believer. Yeah, there's 4.5s. I'm going to go Philly -4.5. I'm not a firm believer in this Pittsburgh offense. We were on them 6.5-point favorites against the Browns last week. The defense is good, but Philly's defense is really good too. I trust Philly's offense to be able to put more points up than Pittsburgh's in this one. I know that's very vanilla and not great insight, but Russell Wilson, I don't buy it. I still think the Eagles are one of the best teams in football. You can make an argument for the best. They had that. It was a sleepwalk game against the Panthers. They got a scare. A.J. Brown goes into the media. He's not happy about the passing offense. I think we can maybe see a little bit more emphasis on that. Try to get him the ball. I don't think that secondary is spectacular for Pittsburgh. If the offensive line can hold up, which is a very good offensive line, you have a slew of pass rushers for the Steelers. I totally get it. I think Philly's offensive line will be able to do a good enough job. You can kind of beat their aggression with a screen here and there to Saquon Barkley, who's arguably the best player in the league. I think Philly has more I just think it's a good spot for them. I think they have more capable weapons, and on the defensive side, I think they're going to be able to give Russell Wilson some trouble here. So we'll lay 4.5 points with the Eagles. I'm also going to go 12 p.m. kick. I'm going to take the Dolphins +3. Same thing as the Niners. The Dolphins kind of all of a sudden turned a corner. Jets were playing great, and then the Dolphins got back in that game, go to overtime, and win. They've won 4 out of their last 5 since Tua's been back. It was the one weather game. This is going to be inside in Houston. Tua doesn't have to worry about the weather. I don't think this Texans team is that great. I've been saying it. They've lost 3 out of their last 5. They've got issues on the offensive line. I think it's a must-win for the Dolphins. Getting 3 points, I'm going to take it. So, Dolphins +3.
Yeah, Bryce Young, huh? That's something we didn't mention.
Turn it back.
That was an incredible drive.
Yeah.
That Leggett should have caught the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's – and we said that. We said we would have took Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, and I would still today.
Yeah, I mean, I think situation matters. I think C.J. Stroud's fucking good.
I don't know.
I don't know that you've seen enough to say you're going Bryce Young over Stroud.
Yeah, I'd still go with it.
I think you still go with it.
I saw that one drive, dude. That was incredible.
Yeah.
He's nearly tackled for a safety.
No, I think he kind of – it was good for him to be able to take a step back and just get a reset. And that's what – kind of like what they did with Anthony Richardson, I guess. It's what Tom Brady said. They don't take the time to develop these guys. They're thrown to the wolves from day one, and it's like, go win games now or you're fucked and you're out of here. So I think it was good for him to – perfect situation too. Like Andy Dalton's old. He's not a threat to like take your job in the long run. So take a step back, learn how to play quarterback in the league, and then you can go back to him. So I was wondering, like, are they going to throw the towel in on him? Because they took him first overall. He was the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. He was incredible at Alabama. So
a bunch of teams tried to trade for him when they benched him.
Yeah.
And they weren't interested.
Like, it sucks he's in our division because you kind of want to root for him, like getting cast aside like that. Yeah, he's playing good. He's playing good football. All right. I am going to biggest total of the week, one of the biggest all year, and we're going over 53.5 points. Bills and Lions. Josh Allen's the MVP. The Lions have the best offense. The Bills' defense just gave up 44 points. The Lions have issues in the secondary, in my opinion. It's a high number for a reason. Indoors, turf field, fast track. Not much to it other than, you would expect the Bills to come out and play with a little more something on defense after what happened, but I just think Damar Hamlin's not very good. He's not that great of a safety. So there's going to be free roam for Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta, and they have too many weapons for there not to be a ton of points scored in this one. It's a low number. It's going to be a good game, close game, possibly a Super Bowl look ahead. I'm going to go over 53.5, and I'm going to see, 53.5 is the best number we can get. I'm surprised you're still sticking to your 3. I'm going to have a ton of NFL plays for the remainder of this year.
I always want to bet more, but I really don't like the lines ever.
Yeah, I got another one, and then maybe 2 more, and then my lock. Maybe 3 more, actually. The Buccaneers and the Chargers. Chargers are 3-point favorites at home. Total sits at 45.5. I'm going to take the 3 points with the Bucs. I think Baker Mayfield, he's another one of those rejuvenated his career, and he deserves some credit. The Buccaneers are very banged up in the secondary and on the defensive side in general. Is Ladd McConkey going to go? I would imagine. But if he doesn't, I understand what the Chargers did. We were on them last week, Sunday Night Football. But it's tough sledding for that offense. I think that this is a good spot for the Buccaneers here. I think that the Chargers' defense is okay, but not that great. I think 3 points. 3 points is too many, so I'm taking the Bucs plus 3. Did you have any more that you were considering? What do you think about Vikings-Bears?
I don't know. I wouldn't even.
I kind of want to go over 43.5. If I had to think side, I would lay it. I don't know how you take the Bears, but
maybe you take them.
I really just don't think their defense is good.
You got one team that just got blown out. The other team coming off a blowout win. I kind of like taking the underdog after that, No,
I get it, but I really just don't think that their defense is nearly as good as advertised. So I guess, the spot, I understand what you're saying, but all right, I'm also going to go, last one before my lock, I'm going to go Colts and Broncos under 45. No, 44.5. Colts and Broncos under 44.5. Fuck. It was 45. Yeah, I think points are going to be hard to come by in this one. Bo Nix is playing much better than I expected. But I still think you can get them into positions where it's tough sledding to move the ball. The running back situation's interesting. And then on the Colts, do I need to say it? Bottom of the barrel quarterback in this league. But really, the Colts' style of offense to success is to run the football. They should use Anthony Richardson in the run game more if they were smart. So, yeah, I'm going to go under 44.5 Colts Broncos. And then all I have left is my lock. You as well?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Best bets of the week in the NFL.
It's a lock. Kramer, you've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need, come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
You're going to hate my lock. My lock of the week's the Seattle Seahawks +3 against the Green Bay Packers. Second back-to-back road games for the Packers. The Seahawks have won 4 straight. 3 out of their last 4 were on the road. They're back home now. They're playing well. I've been very low on this Seahawks team. I've been impressed the last couple weeks. In my opinion, this game comes down to the trenches. I don't like the Packers pass rush. I wish it was better. We're invested in the Packers to win the Super Bowl. They're 25th by Pro Football Focus metrics of getting to the quarterback. If Geno Smith has a clean pocket, he's pretty effective. Whenever you can pressure him and you make him have to go off script, he struggles. I don't think the Packers are going to be able to create enough havoc in the backfield that he struggles and has a bad game. Quietly, the Seahawks have some really good weapons with Smith and Jigba, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett even, who's obviously regressing big time. But Kenneth Walker, I'm expecting to come back and play. But Charbonnet did very well in his absence. I think the Seahawks are going to be able to put points up on the board. Possible weather in the forecast. We know very well how Jordan Love can be. I just think that this is a good spot for the Seahawks. I was honestly kind of surprised that you were opposite side. I was hoping you wouldn't be. But, yeah, Seahawks +3 are my lock of the week. I think it's a good spot for them.
I'm going Commanders -7 against the Saints.
I'll add it.
I think
so bad.
just Haener at quarterback. I mean, who's he going to throw to anyway? It's like,
no, we're decimated.
Injuries are a big problem. The Saints' rush defense here is a big problem. The Commanders can really run the ball with the running backs and, of course, Jaden Daniels, the quarterbacks. The Commanders are coming off a bye.
Yes. And before that, they just got back on track with a 42-19 blowout win over the Titans.
Yeah,
They've been struggling a little bit before that. 3 straight losses.
I don't know. I'd like to lay 7 here with the Commanders against a Saints team that I don't really expect much from Haener here.
No, me neither. I wanted to do it. It was actually 7.5 for a while, so it did tick down to the key number 7. But, yeah, I just don't see the path for us because everybody's hurt. Your best wide receiver's out. I mean, look, you don't even really need to explain it much. Everybody's hurt for the Saints. It's been a season of turmoil. We're playing bad teams that we're beating. But, yeah, I don't see it. Haener or Rattler, I don't see it. I think Jaden Daniels takes care of the ball very well. I was very close to taking this one straight up as it anyway. So the fact that, I mean, you can go ahead and make it your lock. I got to take it. Takes care of the ball, very efficient, runs the ball very well, like you said, with Robinson's a great running back, dude. Robinson's kind of quietly, I don't think he's getting enough credit for how good he actually is.
Oh, he's great.
So, and yeah, I mean, the defense isn't spectacular for the Commanders, but I don't think it really needs to be.
No.
So, do you have anything else on it?
No, that's basically it. I think the Commanders really have success running it mainly, but
yeah,
you look at the Saints have really struggled stopping the run, especially late in games. When the defense is tired, they really give up some chunk yardage. So,
yeah, I'm surprised you're going Packers.
I don't believe in the Seahawks.
Yeah, I do worry about it because, I mean, I've been saying all year I don't believe in the Seahawks.
I just think narrative-based, too, kind of the way this division is shaping up. I kind of expect
it to be a cluster between the Niners and the Rams and the Seahawks. And
I mean, that's just narrative-based, but, I mean, it is the NFL.
I'm going to be honest. I was pretty impressed with the Seahawks defense and the secondary and all of that. So Dobbs is still in concussion protocol. I'm all in on the Packers. Don't get me wrong. So for me to make the opposite team my lock, I think is definitely saying something. I like the potential that Jordan Love has, but you still see a lot to be desired in spots. On the road, you lose to the Lions, but that's best team in football. Take it with a grain of salt. But you've got the 1-point win on the road against Chicago that they were fortunate. Like that shouldn't have necessarily been the case. So the Packers on the road versus the Packers at home are a little different. 3-point win over a bad Jaguars team. 5-point win over the Rams. They haven't really, like, dominated. It's just, like, I feel like they haven't hit that next level. Like, they're not reaching their potential, which you want them to reach their potential in the postseason, obviously, at the right time. But I just walk away from these games where I'm like, they should have killed that team. And so I just think with Seattle's defense and the home field advantage, it's a tough place to go play. And just the weapon. I just would not be surprised if they get the run game going and you got play action with DK. And Smith and Jigba's really good. It like I said, I think it boils down to, can they get to Geno Smith? And I just don't think they can. I don't know. Rashawn Gary's okay, but they don't have I think Van Ness got banged up last game. They don't have a dominant pass rusher. So
yeah, that was the big surprise, was the Seahawks' success running it last week.
Yeah,
as they really haven't been good against. They
told
haven't
you
been
when
a good rushing attack.
I told you when Charbonnet came out, I was like, I think he's going to be good in the NFL.
Kenneth Walker's head and
he's
shoulders
definitely better,
than,
but Zach Charbonnet is not bad.
No, but he shouldn't even. If Walker's healthy, I'm putting Walker at running back every fucking play.
Oh, of course, but for that to be your backup,
no,
though,
they were saying as a rookie, for fantasy purpose, that Walker was going to lose value because of Charbonnet, and I was like, yeah, no way.
Yeah, I mean, he averages over 4 yards a carry. He's matching him in touchdowns. They both have 7. But Charbonnet's played 3 more games. So, but no, yeah, I'm just saying, like, he's no fucking slouch. And especially if you can have them both, take some heat, like if you can have Kenneth Walker in the game and give him a little bit of rest, and here comes Zach Charbonnet. It's a drop off, but it's not like, oh, now we can't go, the run game goes away.
But if Walker was on a decent team that could really had a good running offensive line, like,
yeah,
if you put Walker on the Eagles, Walker would be the best running back in the nation, just like Saquon is right now.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Or the Niners, it's like,
yeah, situation certainly matters. We've seen Kenneth Walker from his time at Michigan State. We know how fucking good Kenneth Walker is and can be. Yeah, you've got Seattle's 27th Pro Football Focus in terms of run blocking. So that's, like I said, that's the whole thing. Their offensive line's not great. It's just, can the Packers exploit that? I don't think so, at least pass rush wise.
I mean, I felt like they had a little bit more success last week against Goff than previous weeks, where they were really like generating hardly 0 pass rush.
Yeah.
How many sacks did they get?
I was looking at it. They had a good week recently. I don't know if it was against the Lions though.
Because that's been the talk about the Packers, is they have Rashawn Gary's the main talking point, is that he really isn't having the type of season that was expected from him.
Yeah, no, they only got to him one time, 1 sack for 3 yards. But there was a game recently. I think it was Tua in the cold. It was Tua in the cold, I believe. They got him 5 times. So, but Tua's shell-shocked in the cold. He can't move his fucking frozen legs. And then Caleb Williams obviously gets sacked a shitload of times. He had only 3. Yeah, only 3. No, trust me, I've been all in on this Packers team all year. I've bet them all fucking year, and they keep costing me money too, because they keep beating the teams, but not by margin. So they're missing certain pieces. I looked far and wide to see if Jair Alexander was going to come back. Couldn't find it. I don't know if you did. Did you see anything?
No, I mean, you'd have to look at the practice report from yesterday.
Yeah, but then they have other guys in the secondary. Ballantyne, they're banged up in the back end. So I'm telling you, I almost want you to fucking change it. But the second you do that, the Packers are going to obliterate them. I thought it was the first one that jumped out to me when I looked into it. It all added up that I liked it quite a bit, because every time I watch the Seahawks, I'm like, dude, Smith and Jigba's really fucking good, like really good. So, and you just sang Kenneth Walker's praises. So if he comes back, we'll see.
So Alexander's been practicing in a limited capacity, but he has yet to return to play, you know?
Yeah. And then Dobbs is still in concussion protocol from what I saw.
How long is that going to last?
I don't know. It's only been 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, but usually, you know, if it happens,
I feel like it's either a week or it's like a month. I feel like there's
usually
no in
if it's not too bad, like a guy doesn't get knocked out.
Well, I think he did, didn't he?
I don't remember.
I think it was on the sideline. He got slammed on the spot. I think he went out like.
Was he like this?
No, he didn't have the response.
Because that's automatic. Like,
yeah, you're
we'll
done
see
for
in a month.
Yeah. All right, to recap, Thursday night I'm going 49ers minus 2.5. I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 3, the Eagles minus 4.5, the Bills and Lions over 53.5, the Buccaneers plus 3, the Colts and Broncos under 44.5, the Commanders minus 7, and my lock of the week is the Seahawks plus 3.
I'm going 49ers minus 2.5, Packers minus 3, and the Commanders minus 7 for my lock of the week.
That is our best bets for college football and the NFL. Like I said, we will be back in here on Tuesday with a ton of bowl games to break down. The college football playoff is right around the corner. It's going to be it's a first in terms of this 12-team playoff, and chaos is going to ensue. But there's still money to be made. It ain't been the year we wanted, but there is I don't know. I was in my head I had something positive where I was like, we're gonna get them next year, but that's a fucking long way to wait. And like I said, there's still money to be made this year. Episode 208 is in the books. Again, hit the like and subscribe button. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope.
All right, y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this good. A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.